Morning, everyone, and welcome to Morton, Illinois. We're at Northwood Park for our 2024 PDGA Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell.
You have to think of what's going on in these players' minds. They all have something they're fighting for.
A favorable late kick works out for Jen Allen. Now watching Evelina Salonen tee off on 5. And beautiful shot by Evelina. Bullseye hit.
This tee shot, they're throwing over. Oh, wow. Almost throwing it in. They're throwing over OB, which I feel like can get in the player's mind of you cannot hit a tree, you cannot touch a tree on this tee shot. But an absolute perfect drive from Holland, right on line.
And taking a look at that drive, which was powered by Nakwa.
Well done from Paige, utilizing that right-hand side lane.
Pierce trying to collect her first birdie of the round, and that one is in. So Pierce finally starting to chip away at that double bogey she opened with.
Now that's the shot, Terry. A brutal roll away.
She's actually going to roll toward where we'll see the MPO pin this afternoon. I believe she'll be closer to that than she is to the pin she was playing to. And Scoggins takes advantage of the inside the circle look.
I don't know about a major, but I am going to be playing the women's global event in a couple of weeks, so I've been practice putting, but no majors yet on my schedule.
All right, well, we'll welcome you back anytime. Would be excited to see it as we watch Kristen with a perfect second shot.
So that's, you know, when it rains, it pours. So we'll see if Missy can keep that streak going.
And Kristen in for her first birdie of the round. At a time where she's bouncing back from the bogey she took on the previous hole, number 5. We saw the drive by Hanley. Now the birdie look. She cashes that one in right side. She's picked up 3 of her last 4. So Hanley will move to 2 under.
It doesn't seem like the wind is blowing that severe.
And Kristen will push to the left side of the fairway.
Left to right, she went with her straightest 12 speed there and just barely got on top of it, and the wind kind of pushed it out to the right.
Appreciate it as we're watching a couple of skips come in from Gannon. She'll be in the similar territory where we just saw Kristen. However, Missy's going to be more open. She's a little closer to the pin. She has to be careful because if you go past this pin, you could have just as challenging of a comeback putt. Or you could just put it in. Kristen from a knee. Salonen for birdie. Going after that one with a roller, that seemed to be a very popular play off the tee there. Sarinen's third. Silva with the opportunity to save the par. And The only remaining clean scorecard on the entire course belongs to Silva Saarinen.
It sure is, and it's just wide open. There's not a lot of trees to beat except for right in front of the pin. And she does it perfectly. Well done from Owen.
And not a common sight to see Evelina with a standstill, and she dials it up. Near perfect accuracy. Scoggins just outside of the bullseye.
This is a gotta get birdie. This is a great opportunity to erase an over par stroke.
So she moves to that drop zone, but without penalty. And that was some compromise between the tournament staff as well as the PDGA. Own tied with Silva, throwing on the 15th. That's going to leak toward the left side, but checks up and stays inbounds. We're going to check in with Silva Saarinen on the 15th. We saw the tee shot. It came up just short of the OB on the left side. Now can she put herself in position for another birdie? And the answer is yes. Saarinen trying to become a solo leader at 5 under. Evelina's third shot up ahead on 12. And if she checked up, she'll still have a look for birdie from just outside the circle.
Just great placement for Kristen on her second shot. It seemed to be drifting to the right. It's a nice tree kick. It's it right underneath the pin.
Solid putt for Hanley, and she'll pick up the birdie on 13.
Hits pin high at the top of the hill, but gets that flare skip.
Again, Kristen not worried about what's behind the basket, just as she wasn't back on hole number 8.
One hole left for Silva. And she absolutely cures the drive, punching it out the tunnel.
And Silva Saarinen in for the birdie on the 18th, a 5 under effort. Congratulations on her opening round here at the Champions Cup. And Valerie's second shot skips just past the pin. And Valerie Mandujano in for the birdie. Now we see Holly Finley on 16. And what a great putt for Holly. And Valerie Mandujano on the tee of 16. This is on a rope. Does it have the distance? It does. And that checks up underneath the basket for Mandujano. On the tee of 16 now, Allie Smith. That one flips up and comes right in at the pin and just carries 15 or 20 deep. So let's catch up with Allie Smith. Now the birdie look on 16. And she converts. Allie Smith trying to get it going. We talked about how much more difficult the back 9 is. Allie didn't get that memo. Hanley's second on the 15th. And Hanley splashes out. The near throw-in for eagle from Holland Hanley.
I was thinking, I love this line. Maybe it's a little too inside, but that's what it needed to give it a run, and it cuts through. That hit plenty of basket.
And a favorable kick for Kristen. It just needs to turn over and sit down, and eventually it does. So Kristen will have a tap-in birdie coming. Gannon buries it from deep.
And I was thinking today, Missy, her putt hasn't looked so confident. Paige saying, I could do that too. What a save for Paige.
After Missy just converted from long range, now Scoggins also calling for it. I'd follow that up and say every woman that's currently in the top 8 birdied hole number 15. So it's one you can't leave out there. Hanley hunting for the pin on the 16th. And Valerie Mundahano trying to close out her round with the birdie. She'll do just that. So a very solid effort here from Val today. She had 6 birdies, 2 bogeys.
Not a lot of space on this fairway to work a shot. See if Paige has this turnover forehand. Great shot from Paige.
Hannah has a what looks like an eagle look here on the 18th. No chains required. After all of that, Gannon able to maintain focus and collect the birdie.
So with a drive 300, 400 plus off the tee shot, you'll have a nice, easy approach to the pin to give yourself that eagle look.
It doesn't get much better than that. What a shot by Ellie Ezra. Hanley's effort is short. And Ellie Ezra makes up for it with a solid putt to close out with an eagle. Kristen last to approach. Setting herself up. And that looks to be the closest look for eagle. And Gannon in for eagle. She'll close out strong. Kristen for eagle. And she converts. Kristen will move to 3 under.
It'll be fun to see Silva Saarinen tomorrow on the lead card, leading the pack. But we're pretty stacked up. Seeing Paige there down in 11th place. There are a lot of ties. And think of what any single hole can do to a player. We're going to see a lot of moving in tomorrow's round.
Hey everyone, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy here. And I feel like there's 2 options that remain. Either you click subscribe and you watch more golf and content right here on the channel, or you go outside and you play. If you're not going to do those, then head on over to the Disc Golf Network and make sure you sign up so you can watch live disc golf almost every weekend.